This episode of PDX Spotlight is brought to you in association with Portland Radio Project.
They're my brothers and I.
And you're watching PDX Spotlight.
We are all doing it?
Oh my gosh!
Cause we're going through a tough time, and we both know it ain't right. But you say you wanna leave me. Won't you please stay here and fight? Or won't you stay? Please stay here and fight. Won't you stay? Please stay here and fight. Put on a brave face, expect something to change. Just doing the same thing that we do every day. Cause we're going through a tough time, and we both know it ain't right, but you say you wanna leave me. Won't you please stay here and fight? Or won't you stay? Please stay here and fight. 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 I see myself in you. Can't be that any longer. Don't leave cause you're afraid. It will help us grow stronger. Cause we're going through a tough time, and we both know it ain't right, but you say you wanna leave me. Won't you please stay here and fight? Or won't you stay? Please stay here and fight. 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 So going through a tough time. Won't you please stay here, fight? Say you wanna leave me. Won't you please stay here, fight? Won't you stay? Please stay here
Welcome to PDX Spotlight. I'm your guest host, Luke Neal from Portland Radio Project. And tonight on the show, we have My Brothers and I. Guys, thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
You bet. Well, it's been a crazy year. Last 12 months has been exciting. You've released your debut record. You've been on tour all over the place. And your music's been featured on television, which I want to talk to you about later. But first, before we do that, let's go down the line and introduce yourselves and let us know what instrument you play.
Yeah, I'm Eric. I play the bass and I do background vocals.
David, and I'm the lead singer.
My name's Scott, and I'm the drummer.
I'm Jordan. I dance and play guitar.
And I'm Johnny, and I play keys.
Fantastic. Well, let's talk about the formation of the sound of the band. You know, I think some folks know kind of how the band came together. So let's talk about how you found your sound and how that came to be.
When we started the band, we knew that we wanted to feature David's voice the most, and so we had talked about that being the focus of the group. Other than that, we didn't really talk about or like consciously decide what sound we were going to have. I think it's just a collection of 5 guys that listen to very different music, coming together and trying to create one sound. People say we're a little eclectic. I still don't know if that's a compliment or not, but I think that's the reason is like we all are influenced by very different artists, and we just kind of organically came together, and this is what came out.
So who are some of the influences that are across the board?
Well, for me, like I just listen to a lot of hip hop and rap, like The Roots, Kendrick Lamar, as far as like drumming and beats go.
Did you tell by his look? He looks
And then
Yeah.
God got us, we gonna be all right.
Yeah.
Eric, I mean Foo Fighters.
Yeah, Foo Fighters were the first songs I'd learned on my acoustic at home. So that was an early influence on me. And then I started getting into like Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind & Fire around high school. And Bobby McFerrin, like really weird
It got weird there.
art stuff. I hope
phase.
somebody knows who he is out there. But those were my like middle school, high school influences.
Nice. How about you, David?
Maroon 5 was that was like the Songs About Jane album. Was like the first album I started singing. Yeah, that's pretty much like if I were to pinpoint one album, that would be the one.
Jordan?
nice influences.
Yeah.
Yeah. B.B. King and Wes Montgomery, like jazz guitars. But then I love Foo Fighters, and then we grew up on Pearl Jam and Incubus and Audioslave. So
Perfect. Johnny, how about you?
I just listen to like sappy indie bands and like Death Cab for Cutie. Like,
It's true.
very different than I think. I think I learned a lot being around these guys because it was very different tastes. And like Christian rock growing up.
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Switchfoot. Yeah.
We've come a long way, guys.
So when the songs are introduced to the band, who usually brings those in?
Usually David.
Okay.
I mean, there's some exceptions, but for the most part.
Usually it's like a chorus. I'll have a chorus and a hook or something like that, and maybe like a first verse with lyrics. And then at that point, it's like, all right, I need some help with a second verse and adding little things that maybe weren't in there in the first verse and bridge and stuff. So it's definitely a collaboration, but probably like the initial thought, I just like think of a chorus or something.
Like with Scars, did you write that first on the keys?
Yeah. That's usually what I do. Sometimes I'll just think of something in my head, just like a lick or something like that, but usually I'll start out on the keys and just kind of fiddle around and then let the real keys player do it from there.
Say, did you tell Johnny I'm going to do Scars live? It's mine.
Yeah. No, He won't tell me how to play. Yeah, I think it was actually somebody else who told us to do that, just image-wise, so just to have like a slow song. They say time heals all wounds. I don't agree. Every wound leaves a scar. They're all over me. They remind us where we've been, and they teach us where to go. If you haven't forgiven, it's time to let them know. I know you're lost,
it's okay. We've all got scars. You are not alone. Don't turn your back. Don't look away. I know you're home. It's time to carry on. A kid afraid of the dark, of what he can't see. Somebody scared of the love. Now that's a tragedy. Don't run and hide just because there is a storm. If you keep your head high, you will find your way home. I know you're lost, but it's okay. We've all got scars. You are not alone. Don't turn your back. Don't look away. I know you're home. It's time to carry on. I know you're home. It's time to carry on. I know you're home. It's time to carry on. I know you're home. It's time to carry on.
So transitioning to working on your debut record, how many songs did you take into the studio, or were most of them created there? How was that process? Because a lot of artists will take in 40 songs to a studio.
Yeah,
No, we
I
didn't
think
do
not
that.
us. Was it?
No.
No.
But we probably had about 20. I'd say maybe 15 complete songs, and then 5 like ideas that we were holding on to just in case. Tell Me was one that when we, at the time in the studio, it was a completely different song.
Yeah.
And it live turned into something completely different. So we didn't end up putting it on the album because we weren't really happy with it. And then playing it live and just kind of turned into something else. So that's like an example of something that didn't make it on the album.
Sure.
Granted was
yeah.
kind of crazy because it was one of those outliers that wasn't completed yet. And
Yeah.
that was one in the studio where it just felt right completing it in the studio, and we found pieces to just fit. And I feel like that's a very minimalistic song compared to some of our other
Yep.
ones. And that's just kind of what it needed, was a nice studio drum recording and vocals and clean organ sound in the background. And that was something that came together in the studio for sure.
From a production standpoint.
Yeah.
Now, as you're looking at these songs and you're collecting a record, so Don't Dream Alone is a collection of your ideas. Was there something that was a mission statement for you underneath the surface and said, we got to collect these songs to say this thing with our debut?
No.
That's good. That's
No,
great.
I mean, I think there's like maybe a handful of songs that we had kind of been holding on to for a while that were like, you know, Nowhere to Run, Fly Away, like that's where we started with. Those are songs people liked from the very beginning, and we knew we wanted to put those on. And then, again, like we're just kind of an eclectic bunch. Like we didn't consciously like, oh, we're gonna do a concept album where it's gonna tell this one story or portray this one like message to people. We're just, you know, it's our first album. We were just pumping songs out and having fun doing it and not really like overthinking it, just organically writing music and playing it.
And I remember when because we had to do the studio on the weekends. So I remember one weekend we were coming home just to kind of prove that it's not a mission statement. We were coming home, we were like, what are we going to name this album? So we just started like going through the song, looking at song lyrics, like what sounded catchy, what not stupid, and like, so like that's how we came across Don't Dream Alone. I mean, obviously, it's grown into a message that is very true. It's not like we're making that message up, the message that we have for Don't Dream Alone, but that's kind of like where we started in terms of finding the title.
So after you've collected these songs, and I don't have to tell you, I mean, there's so many hours that goes into making a record, blood, sweat, and tears. What does it mean to you to take it on the road and for it to impact people the way it has? Like, you know, when I had you and Jordan on, Eric, you were talking about, you know, the talkboard lit up about Scars and just the way it's connected with people. So I know you said that was kind of unexpected until you took it out on the road.
It's hard because like you write songs and you know what they're about, but I think what's great about meeting people on the road is songs take on a new meaning, and I enjoy that. I don't want to tell people what each song is about, because Stay Here, I think, is the most I'm surprised with when I talk to people about what they think it means or how it's impacted their lives. I got a message the other day on Facebook from one of our fans saying that it's gotten them through some really tough stuff. And Scars for sure. When we play it live, when we share it with people, that was one that was placed in a VH1 TV show as well. And we got just a flood of fan response just from people saying that touched them. So making music is cool. Personally, I enjoy meeting the people that even listen to our music.
As a musician, I couldn't fathom what it would mean for my music to be on TV. Like you said, the VH1 artists you should know. And it wasn't just a blurb, like it was during the commercial break. There was your album cover and everything, which is great. But what does it mean to you to have it shared as part of a soundtrack? I think Pretty Little Liars, was there another show it appeared on as well?
Pretty Little Liars was Granted. That was Granted. And then Scars was on, I don't even, what do you remember the title?
VH1 Family Therapy.
Family Therapy, that's what it
And
was.
then like a BBC show as well.
Really?
We haven't.
I think
The Brits.
Sorry.
yeah.
Well, we haven't even seen it because
Yeah.
it's BBC. But
But I think the Timbers also have been using some of our music at their games. I've heard from my cousin, so
That's great.
it's
crazy
cool
to
not
hear.
just to be
honor.
supported
Yeah.
by like TV or stuff, but just like people in our own community, like Portland Timbers, are willing to. I don't know.
Yeah,
It's pretty
great to hear
cool.
your music.
I really
Yeah.
like it.
There's something about your touch. It's changed the way I see. I can't believe I was so blind to things right in front of me. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. Let's fly away together. There's something about your presence I can feel when you're close by, baby. And when our eyes finally meet, it's a love I cannot deny. No, no. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. Let's fly away together. Let's fly. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. Let's fly away together. away together. Oh, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Let's fly away together. Fly. Oh, if you're a bird, I'm a bird. Let's fly away together. No, 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 no. If you're a bird, I'm a bird. Let's fly away together. Let's fly high, baby. Let's fly high. Oh no, fly high, let's fly high.
Are you collecting songs right now for the second record?
It's really, really early for new content. I actually haven't even shown the guys what I've written yet.
Oh, hello.
So that's one thing that I think our manager Kyle has done a good job for us, because I mean we don't really know what we're doing exactly in terms of like, you know, like how long do you push an album, how long do you do whatever. So I think getting like every last squeeze out of it and encouraging us that, you know, it doesn't just happen in the snap of a finger and things like that, like keeping us grounded, I think has been a good
There are
thing.
people that still haven't heard it, you know.
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I think of like the Eagles or even the Foo Fighters, like they play songs for decades,
Yeah.
you know. And I think it would be selfish if we just got, you know, oh, we're tired of our music, we're not going to share it anymore. So
Sure.
there are still people that haven't heard it and that we think can impact. So we are working on some new stuff, but, you know.
Yeah. Not to say we're not at all, but yeah, it's definitely early. Not any full songs, but just ideas.
Where do you see yourselves going from here? How's your sound evolving?
We really wanted people to like our music on our first album, and I think we played it pretty safe, and we didn't really take a lot of risks as far as like maybe reaching for something in the studio that we knew we couldn't do live. We were like, no, we can't do that. Like, we want to be able to recreate this perfectly live. And to be honest, in this day and age of music, it's just not realistic.
Sure.
Like, people push the boundaries so far, but what they do is they figure out a way to do it differently live and bring the energy and make it still a great song. It's just not the exact same.
Right.
So I think, yeah, we've talked about taking more risks from like an technical like instrument standpoint, just experimenting with more sounds and synths and stuff like that, which we didn't really incorporate at all. We try not to talk about it too much because that's kind of the fun, is like just seeing what happens sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
Forget you heard this.
Like it's from your memories. So I do want you to impart some wisdom on some musicians, because not everyone is fortunate enough to reach the level that you guys have, to have exposure on a national level and to be touring and sharing music. So what would you say to somebody who's in a band right now that's trying to do what you're doing? What's some of the advice you'd give them?
I would say surround yourself with people that not necessarily agree with you all the time, because that's different. But
It's impossible.
It's impossible. But surround yourself with people that inspire you and are supportive of what you're trying to accomplish, because you'll rely on those people. You cannot, I'm going to quote our album, but you can't do it alone. Like, even if they're not in the band, you need to have somebody next to you that knows where you want to go, and when you're down, will pick you up and just say, remember a month ago you said you wanted to do this, so, you know, I know you can do it, so let's keep going, type of a thing.
Hang out with the people that you're playing with. Don't just get together just to practice or just to play a gig. Like, if you can't be friends outside of it, I just don't know how long it'll last. I mean, we, like, Jordan and I have been in tons of bands for like 15 years, like so many different bands. And I think that's really important, is just like hanging out and like being friends first, and then kind of knowing when to flip the switch and switch to business.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, at this level, it gets to business quick.
Sure.
And so you kind of got to figure out what you're going to do if the next level happens, so you can still be grounded. Because it can quickly turn into just like text messages about music stuff. And you're like, I'm tired of this.
Well, I wanted to thank you guys for being here. Where can everyone reach you? So your website, Facebook, and Instagram. Give those to us real quick.
Twitter and Instagram at My Brothers and I. And then we also released a shop recently. The camera. I think. I can't tell. There's a shop on our website, mybrothersanddiband.com. And you can see like high def photos. We have a bunch of videos up there.
From David Ilian.
If you wanna buy our album, like a physical version, you can go onto Amazon, I believe, and purchase it from there. If you aren't able to come out to a show, you can get a physical copy that way.
Well, guys, thanks again for being here tonight and sharing your music with us. Until next time, I'm Luke Neal for PDX Spotlight. It's My Brothers and I.
Ow.
Tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me. When you come home late and you say you're at your cousin's with a dress like that, we both know that you wasn't. Would you tell me? Would you tell me? You haven't worn that dress since late last June. I could smell the men's cologne all over you. Would you tell me? Oh, would you tell me? Would you tell me? Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me why the star we didn't fade away. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me. Tell me why the star we didn't fade away. Must be another man, I don't have your love. Cause you keep coming home there with your head done up. Would you tell me? Would you tell me? Is it Johnny, is it Jack when I got out back? If I told you that I knew, what would you say to that? Would you tell me? You wouldn't tell me, wouldn't tell me. Tell me, tell me why the star didn't fade away. Tell me, I faded.